morning, Eagles! I'm Alexis, and I'm here with today's edition of ENN. Our mission is to be prompt, polite, and prepared, and our visions for every student to graduate with the skills necessary to be successful in a college or career. Today is March 19th, 2021, or known as National Nurse Day. Certified nurses give their all every day to help sick patients. And this day, we recognize all their accomplishments with people in need of medical treatment. In today's news show, we have Kayla telling us the history of freedom, Audrey telling us how freedom is preserved, and Joey will be telling us what freedom actually is. Sit tight, Eagles, because ENN starts right now. Freedom wasn't always a luxury here in America, and there are many countries that still aren't free. Something that is free is community service, and community service hour packets are available in student services. And make sure that you turn in all the forms by April 15th. Also, senior privilege card sales will begin once a district has found out some new policies about how and when to meet with seniors. So make sure to be checking the website for more updates. Kayla is going to be telling us the history of freedom today. So let's go to her.
If you are anything like me, you were taught that America gained its freedom from Great Britain in 1775 when they signed the Declaration of Independence. But that only applied if you were a white male. If you're a woman or a black person, your freedoms came much farther down the line. On July 19th and the 20th in the year 1848, 68 women and 32 men gathered in New York for the Seneca Falls Convention, which was the beginning of the women's suffrage movement, which was a series of events and protests led by women to gain their rights to vote that lasted for over 5 decades. And finally, the 19th Amendment, which was radicalized August 18th, 1920, gave women their freedom to vote in elections. But black people still had to overcome both segregation and slavery. So after the Civil War was won, on July 9, 1868, the 14th Amendment was passed, freeing all slaves. But the U.S. still passed several laws suppressing the black population, like taking away their right to vote. And 2 years later, after their freedom, they received the right to vote on February 3, 1870. But they still had segregation and Jim Crow laws, which limited their opportunities and chances, all because of the color of their skin. And it wasn't until July 2, 1964, segregation ended, and black people gained their freedoms and basic human rights again. Even with this progress, a lot of women and people of color feel as though they are treated unfairly by the majority, which just proves the point that though we've made a lot of leeway and many have gained their freedom, we still have a ways to go as a country. I'm Kayla Lanier, signing off, ENN.
Thanks, Kayla, for the insight. Yes, some people might think that we don't have freedom today, but it is nothing like the mid-1800s. We are in 2020, and something to remember that by is getting your Seeing Class t-shirts. They will be for sale in Miss Townley's room, room 1215, for $10 each. In addition, Coach Mays will be selling junior class t-shirts in room 1216 for $15 each. But make sure if you guys stop by before or after school or in between classes. Audrey will be telling us about how to preserve freedom, so let's go to her.
The United States of America was founded on the principle of freedom, and throughout U.S. history there have been multiple monuments and landmarks dedicated to remembering the hard work put into this freedom. One of these memorials is the Lincoln Memorial, which was created to honor the 16th President of the United States, President Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln worked hard during the American Civil War to keep the country unified and emancipate slaves. Later on in the country's history, the Lincoln Memorial became the site of Martin Luther King Jr.'s famous I Have a Dream speech. This speech is a huge example of the advancement of freedom in our country, and this memorial reminds us of multiple historical figures who worked hard to preserve and advance freedom. Another monument is the White House. Democracy is a form of government where the country is run by the people. People get to discuss political and societal matters and then go and vote. The White House represents democracy across America and how freedom is valued by Americans across the nation. Lastly, there's the Statue of Liberty, which is arguably the largest representation of freedom in America. The Statue of Liberty is a symbol of freedom recognized internationally, and she was actually a gift to us from the French. The Statue of Liberty reads, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." She invites people to come to America to obtain freedom and shows the rest of the world that it is important to America. There are many other U.S. memorial and landmarks across the country that represent American freedom, so make sure to check them all out on your next road trip. I'm Audrey, ENN.
Thanks, Audrey, for all that information. Preserving freedom with artifacts and monuments is a great way to remember American history. You can learn more about American history at Youth and Government, which meets every Monday in Miss Burke's room, room 19213. Furthermore, SAGA meets every Monday and Thursday. Joey is here with us today and is going to be asking one of us what we think what freedom is. Let's go to him.
Freedom is an intricate part of our country. On Freedom Day, we get to celebrate these liberties that we've been blessed with that not everyone gets in the world. Today we go and interview some of you to find out what freedom means to you.
How has having the ability to have freedom affected you?
Or the ability to have freedom affects me because it's something that I can always rely on. It's stuff that I don't need money to have. It's something that I just live every day with. So, one experience I've had recently is it's just being able to go outside without a mask on. It's just something that makes me feel happier. Because it's like, I can see that it's like returning to normalcy. So we're all just like living our daily lives and not having to rely on like the government or something like that.
Well, it was great hearing from you, Logan, and how freedom has affected you. I'm Joey, signing off from ENN.
Thanks, Joey and his interviewee, for the feedback. Learning what freedom is very important. In today's news show, we learned what freedom is today and how over the course of 100 years that has changed from Audrey, Kayla, and Joey. So on that note, that's all I have for you guys today, Eagles. So from the entire ENN production team, thanks for watching today and have a great day here at George Jenkins. I'm Alexis, signing off from ENN.
The aerosol in vapes can lead to respiratory damage. Text Walker to 44455 to hear his story. Brought to you by the Facts Now.